What's up, guys? Thank you guys so much for tuning into this video. I promised you guys that I was going to make a video on my reactions to the list. It's been 5 days. 5 days late. I apologize. But we're here, so we might as well do it. So once again, thank you guys for watching. Like, comment, subscribe on YouTube, and like, comment, follow on TikTok, and share with everyone who you know who loves football, or anyone who's a general sports fan in general. But yeah, let's get it started. So this is the final list for the final round, starting with September. This is, well, actually, let me rephrase. This is the list for the final round starting in September. This is for the September phase, and these are all the players in 4 positions. Starting with goalkeepers, as usual, Johnny Placide from SC Bastia, Alexandre Pierre for FC Sochaux, and Garrison Innocent for Riterai. This is pretty much the basic list of goalkeepers, and we've seen Placide's performance as of late. Hopefully it's changed. Hopefully he's back to his usual stuff, staying in between the sticks, staying in the box, not leaving his box every chance he gets like before, because how he did it in the Gold Cup, it was just a disaster. It was such a disaster. Hopefully it changes. Hopefully he does. But also I would like to see other players get more starts, like Alexandre Pierre, Alexandre Pierre, and Garrison Innocent. I do think that those two could be very well. Actually, no, they could do very well, and I believe that them starting in either 1 or 2 matches, or probably being subbed, it could do some very beneficial stuff for them. I think it will be very beneficial for them. Now, moving on to defenders. Garland-Zakis for Angers. Martin Experience for AS Nancy. Marcus Lacroix for Colorado Springs FC in the USL. Ricardo Ade for LDU Quito in Ecuador. Jean-Kevin Duverne in FC Nantes in Ligue 1. In Ligue 1. Garvin Metusela for Colorado Springs, and Quito Termonsi for BSC Young Boys under 19. So pretty much we got 2 guys that are in Europe. Actually, no, 1, 2, 3, 4 players that are playing in Europe, 1 player that is playing in Ecuador, and 2 players that are playing on the same team in the same league here in the United States. I think this is a pretty well balanced list. I think that it'll be great. My advice to them is to not keep playing at the back when there are moments where you should be going forward, because that's a problem that Haiti's always had, especially when they're either leading or losing. Hopefully that changes and they take more chances pushing the ball up forward from now on, especially when it comes to matches like this. Midfield, Christopher Atis for Calcioleco, 1912. Danley Jean-Jacques for the Philadelphia Union, who is having a very good time there. Carl-Fred Saints for Phoenix Rising in the USL. Jerry Desdunes making his debut in the national team today for AV Alta FC, which is also here in the United States. And finally, we landed our guy, Jean-René Bellegarde from Wolverhampton Wanderers in the Premier League. This is exciting. This is fun. I'm really looking forward to it. And Theo Michel from LB Châteauroux. I'm liking this list. I really do. And now, actually, you know what? Let me continue. I think that this midfield list is a way more improved list than before. And I'm sorry if I've forgotten, but I don't know if I think I might have forgotten that I have mentioned Leverton Pierre for Vizela I think that this is a pretty good list. I think this is a decent list. Now moving on to the last position. Attackers. Dundee St. Louisius, who went from OB Odense in Denmark to the MLS playing for FC Dallas. Fabrice Jean Picot for Inter Miami. Dikent Nazon recently joining Esteghlal Football Club in Iran. Frenzy Pero, who just scored the only goal yesterday in their recent match yesterday for AEK Athens. Another player for Vizela, former Arsenal Youth Academy player Yassine Fortune. And last but certainly not least, one of our standout players from the Gold Cup for Haiti, Ruben Providence from Almere City in the Eredivisie. So, obviously there are some concerns. I wouldn't say that there's a lot, but there's some concerns. Frenzy Piero and Dikent Nazon. They are not the same players as before. I will admit it, and I will be honest. They are not the same players as before. During the Gold Cup, there were times where they had missed their marks rather than hitting their marks. You know what I mean? And I do hope that come this September 5th, it changes and they start being more focused. Nazon and Piero are two of the big concerns that we have, along with Placide. And I would say Ricardo Rade, but I think we'll just leave him out for now. I think it's Nazon, Piero, Placide, and I think that is it. But other than that, I think that if they look to improve, and I think that if they do plan to improve, I think that they'll be a massive success. They'll continue to do great things for the team, especially against Honduras and Costa Rica on the 9th of September. I'm really looking forward to all of it. Now, Sebastien Mignier, the manager of the Haitian national team, of course, people are just absolutely ready to eat him up when he fails. I will be very honest. Haitians, we tend to be pretty negative when things don't work out the way we want them to. We always look for someone to blame. And of course, in this situation, he's not the best guy. He's not the best guy. But he's the only guy that we have if we actually want to make it somewhere. I do have faith in the team, a tiny bit of faith in the manager, but I do think that we do need to push all the negativity aside and stand together on this, because this is an opportunity that we'll most likely will never have again for the next 50 years plus, if we take this for granted. And I think that this is the time not to take anything for granted. This goes for the manager, this goes for the players, this goes for the entire federation as a whole. I think that we need to push all this negativity aside in order to progress, in order to push further, in order to finally make it back on the international stage after 51 years. But this list is a pretty good list. I do think that, with the addition of Gorby Jean-Baptiste and Wilson Isidore, I think we'll do much more. But I think we're going to do pretty well with this list. But then again, this is only for September. We'll see what happens in October. God willing, the list progresses to being even better and stronger and more brighter, I hope. But that's all that I have for you guys, and I really appreciate the love and support that you guys have for this channel, for this TikTok account, and for all my videos and everything else. I love you guys. Have a great Monday. Peace out.